Hi, Trevor here, reflecting on live stream music. Thank you for stopping by. Well, hello everybody, please come in. I trust you enjoyed my last video on blues guitar legend John Lee Hooker, and through his song Dimples we looked at noticing those small beautiful things about our partners, so I trust you found that one encouraging. We're going from there to 1947 in Wichita, Kansas. This guy, his dad was a test pilot. Unfortunately, Dad was involved in a crash, and at the age of 2, and so he didn't have a dad from the age of 2. His mum didn't get involved with another guy, but things didn't work out. He ended up being adopted by his stepdad at the age of 5. There was a bit of moving. Ohio was a place he went, and New York, particularly New Jersey, another. He played oboe in school bands, but it wasn't until he got his guitar at the age of 10 that he thought, hey, you know what, I love playing this thing. I'm going to become a rock musician. And he well and truly has done that. And one of the highest selling artists of all time, the guy we're talking about is Joe Walsh. Now, Joe is just an iconic guitarist, one of the riffs, and we'll get onto that one in a minute, that in music history. But also, he's got a very, very good singing voice, and he well and truly has made his way in the music industry. He was playing bass with a bunch of guys called the Nomads for a while, and it's around Cleveland that he started playing around some local clubs. He got noticed by a band called the Measles, and it was a bit of a bar band between 1965 and 67. And it was in 1968 that he joined the James Gang. And these guys were very, very significant in that they actually opened for Cream in 1971. And he also for The Who. In fact, Pete Townshend did notice these guys and pretty much took Joe under his wing a little bit and gave him a bit of a start, particularly went to the UK for a while. During a song during the James Gang, we've got the song Walk Away. We've got the official clip on that one from the album, so I thought I'd put that one below. It was around 1997 in the Kent state that the massacre happened. It pretty much informed Joe's life because it was a pretty devastating thing that happened. We don't know why these things happen. They just do somehow, for some reason. He thought, well, life is just too short. I'm going to live as much as I could, and I'm going to make the most of this life. And so he pretty well informed that. In fact, in 1971 to 75, I thought, hey, I'm going to do my own, but I'm going to call them Barnstorm. And it's during that particular 4-year period that he really truly started to experiment with different sort of techniques and sort of tapping and slide guitar, as well as developing his voice, because he just wanted to be an all-around musician. So a song that we've got from the band Barnstorm is Rocky Mountain Way. We've got a live version of that one from that period, and this got to number 23 in the top 40, so the world was starting to take notice of Joe Walsh as well. And so was another group, Don Henley and Glenn Fry and a few others who were starting to get pretty big with the Eagles. I thought, hey, we need a replacement. Who are we going to get? They got Joe Walsh, and I'll tell you what, they did not look back from this point onwards. The first album that Joe was part of was Hotel California. Now, Hotel California very famously is in the top 5 best-selling albums of all time. It's around 42 million copies at this point, including Hotel California, where Joe and Don actually do a bit of a guitar duet in Hotel California. And so it's great to have 2 gun lead guitarists in a band that could complement each other so well, and they certainly did do that. But you might be asking, what's a song that Joe Walsh wrote? Well, Live in the Fast Lane came off Hotel California, and that little riff. Well, Joe actually came up with that riff, so whenever the Eagles play this one, he's the one that does that iconic riff that we all just know and love. We've got a live version from the Eagles And we've also got a live version of him in his solo right doing this song, because there's just something about Joe in his own right. He is a compelling force of nature. This guy. In fact, when he actually played Life in the Fast Lane to the Eagles, who were a little bit more sort of country rock, I suppose, they thought, oh no, hang on, it's a little bit quick, that one. But they stuck with it, and we're really, really glad that we did, and that they did, because it's one of the Eagles' sort of quite well known pieces in many ways. It really did just show that these guys can really, really play really, really well. Got Life in the Fast Lane, live version for the Eagles, and live version with Joe with his band. In 1978, we thought, well, you know what, that the follow-up album, The Long Run to Hotel California, took a long time to record. And Joe thought, well, hey, I'm not going to sit still too long, I'm going to do my own thing. And he did release But Seriously Folks out in 1978. We've got a live version of Life's Been Good. This is a bit of a comic look at life as a rock star, which certainly, if you were in the Eagles, you were a rock star, absolutely. And so Joe with the Eagles, we've got a live version of that one. Here's, we've got pretty high vocals happening on here, just a lot of fun and a lot of humour in that particular song, having a bit of a jig at himself, absolutely. So live version of Life's Been Good. Quite famously, the Eagles did split up, and it was around 1994 that they came back with the Hell Freezes Over album. I've got that DVD at home. If you haven't got that one, oh my goodness, it's absolutely stunning. When you see Hotel California at the start, they're just right there. And Joe Walsh is well and truly part of the Eagles sound. You cannot have the Eagles without Joe Walsh. And so we've got, so there have been reunions, but prior to that, Joe was sort of releasing a few solo albums, and got a very famous girlfriend, and this is Stevie Nicks. Now, obviously, Lindsay and Stevie had sort of an on and off kind of thing. Well, Joe Walsh and Stevie had a thing for a while, and she was involved in the album The Confessor in 1985, together with some other greats such as Randy Newman and Mike Porcaro from Toto. We've got the official clip of this one below, and the song is all about, when we look in water and we just see this beautiful still kind of mirror surface, but underneath we've got all sorts of things going on. And I think the challenge of this song, particularly for Joe, was, on the surface things are all good, but underneath not so good. And I think we try to put our best face forward, don't we, in this world? We want to try and impress the world, let the world know that we're going okay. But you know what? Underneath all of that, we are looking at ourselves and thinking, what on earth is going on? Gee, I hope no one discovers me, and I hope no one finds me out, because I just need to put on the best face I can. And so the song called The Confessor is all about, hey, who is a confessor? Well, we are our own confessor. At some point, we've got to fess up and face reality. Or we can choose not to, I suppose. And we can just keep going. We end up going down a bit of a spiral. And, we think, oh, we got it. But meanwhile, we lose touch of ourselves, and we lose touch with who we are. And we end up becoming unrecognisable. And I don't think we want to do that, do we? We want to always keep touch with reality. Life does change. Things do move on a little bit. We find ourselves in new places, absolutely. But, there's new places in a good way and new places in a bad way. And I think new places in a bad way, we certainly want to arrest that stuff before we get too much out of control. And so I think Joe just very, very honestly comes out with this song and says, hey, you know what? Let's fess up before it's too late. I think particularly when the Eagles finished, it was a pretty tumultuous time for everybody, and I think everyone was trying to work out who they were a little bit. We all went on into various ways. Glenn Fry actually had a bit of a good career, so did Don Henley, and it was just a classic case of, oh man, where am I going now? What am I going to do? I didn't realise human beings could be like that at times. And that's why the Hell Freezes Over tour in 1994 was so significant, because there's a lot of healing that took place. That particular DVD, there's a lot of introspection and contemplation in that particular performance, the way it makes it pretty iconic. So the Confessor is a pretty interesting look on life, absolutely. The official clip of that one. In 1984, he did spend a bit of a stint in Australia with the Party Boys. It's the cream of Australian music, including Swanee on lead vocals. He was also involved with the Ringo Starr All-Star Band. Now, Ringo Starr, as we know, part of the Beatles, and he's toured the world with this little act. And we got Joe Walsh taking lead vocals again with his song Rocky Mountain Way. It's great to see a more, I suppose, a contemporary version. We've got some pretty amazing guys, including Steve Lukather of Toto and Greg Bassinet. Now, I first met Greg in an ELO DVD of Zoom back in 2001. So good to see him well and truly being recognised as well as a pretty amazing drummer. Of course, he's playing alongside one of the drummers, Ringo Starr. So we've got Joe Walsh doing his guitar and singing and doing all of his thing in front of that incredible band. In 1998, Joe got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as part of the Eagles. He's also been inducted into the Vocal Group Hall of Fame, again with the Eagles, and again with the Eagles, 5 Grammy Awards. And so this guy's well and truly recognised as a significant contribution to music. In fact, between 1973 and 2012, he's been part of 18 albums, and so a few in his own right, a few of the Eagles, and a few other guys like that. So it's good to be able to pay tribute to Joe Walsh today. I mean, in this particular channel, we do look at people who have well and truly contributed, and Joe Walsh well and truly has. He's very respected singer, songwriter, and guitarist, and so we had to give him a bit of a go today. So the links to those 7 clips in the description below, and I've also included my last video from John Lee Hooker, so if you want to recap on him, feel free. Well, if you've come back for another one, or this is your first time to Life Reflections Through Music, how great to see everybody here. Well, I did look at this band briefly a little while back when I did Eric Clapton. I don't know how long ago that one was now. And this band's just been wearing me down a little bit. I think I need to look at Cream in their own right. In fact, given that one of Joe Walsh's band opened for these guys, there's a bit of a link here. So I thought we'd better look at Cream next time. So until then, I'll catch you around. Bye for now.